Alright guys, so Fool coming to you with another video. I hope all is well with y'all. I mean, I don't know why people are surprised about what I'm about to talk about. I mean, everybody knew it was gonna happen. I knew it was gonna happen. That's why I really don't go for England. I really, being that I have family in France, be it that I have family in Portugal, be it that I have family in Italy, be it that I have family in England, I really don't I really don't go for England as a soccer team for the simple fact that I already know what time it is with them, man. You have to understand, number one, colonialism. Number two, you have to just understand how they've looked at blacks from Africa, blacks from the Caribbean, and it is what it is, bro. So one of the players, the thing is, the Euro 2021, it was kind of a strange Euro 2021 because none of the big wigs were really in it. You have France get beat by Switzerland. You have Portugal, I think Belgium beat them. So none of the guys who were really favored to win it were showed up to the dance. But I must say that Karim Benzema did do his thing. I'm not gonna even cap. That guy was holding it down versus Switzerland. You know what I mean? But anyhow, I mean, you had teams that, for one, didn't have a good World Cup. You had Italy, and for two, you had England. And I'm just being honest, when they come together as a team, the chemistry really isn't there most of the time when they play in these big tournaments. I'm just gonna be honest with you. But the thing is that when you have England, you have some black players. You have Bukayo, I think his name is Bukayo Saka. You have Marcus Rashford, and you have Raheem Sterling. And then Bukayo Saka, he's of Nigerian descent. You have Marcus Rashford, he's of Jamaican descent. And you have Raheem Sterling, who's of Jamaican descent as well. You should already know who's going to take the brunt of their failures if they fail to win, which they did. You already knew that racism was coming. You already knew that the racism was going to be turned on in a major way, especially when it was the fans too. The fans were really racist. You had the fans who were, I want to say, if you were black and you were watching the football game in a pub or something like that, it really wasn't a good idea to do, for the simple fact that they will turn on you from 0 to 60. You had my uncle sent me some videos of what was going on over there, and you had women actually crying, black women actually crying, because they were called all types of racist slurs. They were called nignogs. They were called wogs. They were called all types of things. And so what happens is that I also saw a video of a English fan getting the snot beat out of him for using racist terms by some black people. And that's just what it is in England. I'm not gonna even lie. That's just the whole European standard overall. We think America is bad in terms of race relations. Europe is the same thing. Europe is the same because of the simple fact they look at you not only do they look at you in a slave mentality, they look at you in a, I want to say a sort of colonial mentality, you're still a colonial subject. That's how they look at you. So we shouldn't really be surprised that on social media, under Bukayo Saka's Instagram, you see monkeys, you see go back to Nigeria, although I believe he was born in England, if I'm not mistaken, he was. And you have to just understand something about the English media too. The English media will keep black players under a microscope, okay? So if you're a black player, you have to really move in a way that's almost like, I want to say, squeaky clean. Because the thing is about it is they're looking for you to mess up. That's the whole thing when it comes to these English players. They want you to mess up. I mean, actually, I should say, excuse me, the English media wants you to mess up. The English media wants you to slip. That's their whole thing. That's what they thrive off of. When a black player is doing something, like for example, when a black player buys a very expensive car, they criticize him for doing that. When a black player buys a house for his mom, they criticize him for doing that. When a black player gets a tattoo that they don't really agree with, they criticize him for doing that. They don't really look at the work he does on the pitch. That's what they do. I'll give you another example. And you know, I sometimes they don't even think they're being racist, but it's just like subtle racism that they exhibit. Paul Pogba. I remember there was a comment that Paul Scholes made, the famous Manchester United midfielder. He said something like he needs to, Paul Pogba needs to use his brain more. Okay, Mr. Scholes, did you win a World Cup? I'm just asking. The answer, if you see this video, did you win a World Cup or did you just win domestic championships? Yeah, I think maybe you won Champions League, but a World Cup trumps Champions League, buddy. But you have the nerve to like just insult Paul Pogba's intelligence? It's almost hysterical to me. So that's what they do, man. This is part of their program. It's sad, but that's just what it is with these English fans and the English media. You know, as soon as that happened, and as soon as those missed penalties happened, my whole thing was like to pray for those players. I was like, Lord, man, just I hope the racism isn't too much. You know what I mean? I hope it isn't like, I hope it doesn't just bury them to the ground, you know? So this is what happened. And so that's why you know, I wonder why some people are surprised. There's nothing to be surprised about. That's in there. It's ingrained in them to do that. It's a part of European society as a whole. My thing is this. This is my thing about the situation. My thing is, you guys hate blacks so much. Why would you even come to Africa in the first place if you hate blacks so much? That's just my thing. I know we have resources there, but golly, if you hate us so much, just stay your butt at home. Don't come. Why didn't you guys develop your own resources instead of coming to Africa to get ours? Do it yourself. For real. Otherwise, I don't think, I really believe that, you know, although we did have some African explorers, we did have that. I believe that, you know, Africans, you know, would probably not even pay any mind to even visiting Europe, you know, to be honest. I think Africans would just you know, they wouldn't have no idea. They wouldn't have an interest in invading and colonizing Europe. Yeah, that I do know. That I know for a fact. Maybe Africans would visit Europe, but they wouldn't have a need to colonize it or, take from Europe. I don't think there would be a need for doing that. But it's like, for every cause, there's an effect. You guys came to Africa, you took our resources, both material and human. So obviously we're going to go to Europe and make the best out of a bad situation. You guys orchestrate our leaders who do have Africa's best interests to be assassinated. So the aftermath of those assassinations are these puppet leaders, which in turn causes civil wars, causes more casualties, and more immigrations. So I don't get it. And on a final note, I really wonder what would happen if English players of, Caribbean or continental African descent, I wonder what would happen if they just boycotted and not played for England at all. I wonder if what would happen? How far would England get with just their let's just say their English to the core players? I really wonder how far they would get. What do you guys think in the comment section? Let me know. But anyhow, Fool is signing out. You had to know that was going to happen, though. You guys had to know that was going to come, I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise to you. But anyhow, man, that's all I got for now, guys. Fool is signing out. Jada.